Hi everybody, my name's Kevin. I used to be a fire captain for 20 years and currently work at a elementary school as a maintenance man. But I do enjoy the outdoors, and around me is beautiful outdoors. But in the outdoors, things can happen. Um, the elements of, we're going to talk about cold injuries today, particularly cold exposure. It's most likely what's gonna might happen to you or a friend. Um, and talk about how to help that person if you were come upon a person that was overcome by, maybe they had a boat accident, and you came upon them. They're on the side of the bank, and what are some of the things that we could do to help them? First of all, is to get them, even though this is a nice warm day today, but this area right here in the morning can be down to 20 degrees. The water temperature is fairly warm here, probably 50. But your core temperature in your body, all if exposure to the water for, say it was 50 degrees for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and maybe an hour, can lower the temperature of your heart and your internal organs, and they begin to shut down. And what we want to do as a rescuer is try to get them into a warm place. To if they're, it depends on where you're at. I mean, it might be your car. Get them into a car. Get all the wet clothes off of them. Cover them up with a blanket, and just kind of raise that body temperature. Because if our body temperature drops below 95, uh, 95 and below, we can experience, I'm probably talking about it in your class, is hyperthermia. And that's where your exposure goes so long that your body can no longer generate enough heat. And our body is very, very sensitive to that. Our organs start shutting down. All kinds of things can happen. So we have to basically warm that body back up. Um, that person might end up being lethargic and not even knowing what they actually think they're hot, and they actually start taking off their clothes out. They could be out in the snow, and that people have been found with no clothes on that have froze to death, because that's what the hyperthermia does. In my career as a fire captain, the main thing, we worked out here in the Delta. On cold mornings, uh, a car would go into a river. A person might be trapped in the car, stuck in the water for a long time, and we just basically, we get there, we get them out of the car. Of course, we had the ambulance there. We get their clothes stripped off of them, and we wrap them in blankets and just warm them back up. And that's usually that's what would be probably the normal thing that you'd run across. Um, in the mountains, say you're, I don't know, let's say we're snowmobiling. We're snowmobiling out up by Silver Lake here in California, which is right above us on 88. And we fell through the ice, and one of your party went into the ice. You came upon them. Maybe it's been 10, 15 minutes they've been in there. They might have severe cold exposure where their body temperature is starting to go, and their muscles won't function. They won't be able to get them. So getting those people out, getting a fire lit, getting them some radiant heat, wrapping them in a sleeping bag. Again, getting that cold clothes off of their skin, because our skin is the mechanism that warms and cools our body. So we have to add heat to our body, and basically it'll raise the core temperature of the body. So you would we would get that person into a warmer spot. It might be out in the woods, have to start a fire there. Get a shield, wind block. Wind causes your temperature to go down. So those are some of the things we got to watch out for. Let's see. Uh, it's being prepared. That is probably the thing that would eliminate this injury for sure. Is being prepared. Is I do a lot of backcountry backpacking in cold weather, so me being prepared, I have the proper tent. I actually have a titanium wood stove that goes inside the tent, so I have a place to get warm. And the elements outside could be totally, you know, 10 below zero, but inside the tent is 60, 70 degrees all the time, 80 degrees sometimes. So being prepared, dressing in layers when you're out in the cold, having a wool, staying away from cotton shirts, cotton clothes. Nylon's better. Wool is the best. Merino wool is the best. So layering, having a shirt, having another shirt on top of that shirt, and then having something warm, and then a overcoat, like almost like a windbreaker. Those layers create heat, and those also can save your life. Is having that backup, and as you're getting hot in the elements, that can also cause you to cool. So overexertion in the snow causes sweat, and if you don't cool that